This episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by Action 24/7, Tennessee's only local legal sports book. Use code Pucks Out when you make your first deposit, and our friends at Action will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. That's right, up to $400 extra dollars when you use code Pucks Out. And this week, there are so many dope events. Unfortunately, I'm out of town, and we're recording early, so check us out on Twitter or Instagram to see all the amazing promos our friends at Action 24/7 have for you this week. And while you're there, shoot us a quick like or follow and do the same for our friends at Action. And did you know you can gamble with cash? Action 24/7 does not require you to link to your bank account or any other online wallet. Visit any of over 100 locations across the state of Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals, because when you win big, you shouldn't have to wait. Once again, use code PUCKSOUT, that's PUCKSOUT, when you make your first deposit, and our friends at Action 24/7 will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. What are you waiting for?
From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome in to the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer, which already cracked for me.
Same. It's already cracked.
And let's get after it. Once again, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Join them every Tuesday for trivia and Thursday for bingo night. We've got a shorter episode. I'm out of town this week when you're listening to this, so we're recording this a week early. So we've talked about all the news on last week's episode, and we don't know anything that's new. So hopefully the world is still around for you to be listening to this. Who knows?
That's the hope.
I'm being optimistic here, folks, but you never know. I'm assuming baseball's still not going to be played. I'm assuming there's still a horrible war going on. So let's see what happens. So we're going to jump straight into our main discussion. And also don't forget to check us out on What a Maneuver and Patreon to support the show. I'm assuming you're still doing the same as you were from an hour ago.
Not changed a whole lot. I did just have some Skittles. So that's always, a great day. Yeah. You have a Skittle or two.
Yeah. So we're going to jump. We're talking a little bit of March Madness. By now, we might have our brackets a little bit closer to being completed, but maybe not. According to the analytics from ESPN, the top overall seeds are looking like the top overall seed looks like it's going to be Gonzaga. Will they finally win their first? They are currently at plus 375 odds. To me, I don't really like them at those odds. They have played in 2 of the 4 last national championships. They lost last season after an undefeated season. I personally don't think they'll get their first win this year. What do you think?
No. I like it. I like a lot of other teams that are there that have a chance. Arizona, I like a lot.
Yeah, I think Arizona's the best team in college basketball. They're not my favorite to win, though.
Yeah, not my favorite to win either. But I just feel like that is a team that I would say probably more equipped to win than Gonzaga.
Yeah, and a little better odds. Our friends over at Action 24/7 currently, as we're recording, have Arizona at plus 700. Yeah, I think that line's going to move a bit, though.
I like that. And we had talked about it before the show. No, I'm just not. I just don't want to put my money on the futures of this crazy tournament where anything can happen.
Yeah.
I would like to just bet each round down to the end and then figure something out. Baylor was the best team last year, no doubt in my mind. Gonzaga couldn't really pull through, so we'll see kind of what happens there. Something that a lot of the analysts are saying is that Baylor is a number 1 seed. I just don't see that this year. They've had some bad losses.
I feel like Auburn should be a number 1 seed over Baylor.
Right. And I'm not even you had talked about you like Auburn at plus 1,200. I don't know, man. They just don't have a big identity to me.
I think their identity is a stingy, great defense, and their offenses. They have a top 20 offense. Personally, they're my early pick to win it all. I think they are my favorite. They can certainly win 6 in a row. They won 19 in a row in their 22-1 start. I believe you said they've only lost 3 games this season.
I believe that's correct.
I think Auburn has what it takes. And yeah, maybe their identity isn't that of a team like Arizona or Gonzaga or, the Dukes and the Tar Heels, but that's because, we don't really associate SEC schools.
Jabari Smith is great. And don't get me wrong, he's a great basketball player and he's going to be a great NBA player. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like he has a specific identity. Like this guy's going to destroy it at the rim, or this guy is a killer shooter. He just has a lot of great skill sets that makes him a great basketball player. I don't know. It's just there's not that one like, oh, this guy will change the course of the entire team. Where Smith definitely can. Don't get me wrong. That dude is a baller. But it just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that same feel.
Yeah. So who do you think, and we're going to talk more about this next week. Who do you think who is your favorite to win it all this year?
It's such a tough year. I don't really know that I even have like a specific favorite that I'd be looking to. A lot of good options. Kansas is an option that I'd be looking at depending on who they play.
Yeah.
Like you said, Auburn has a chance. Again, this tournament, anybody can win. I don't think you could ever really count out Kentucky as a good option. I've liked Texas some. I don't think that they're going to win it. That's not what I'm saying, but that's a team that I would be on the lookout for. If you're Arizona or whoever can come out of that side of a bracket.
Yeah. I think a lot in this tournament, this tournament is unlike any other where honestly, it is probably the most unpredictable sports tournament in all of sports. It truly is. Like, trying to predict what's going to happen in this tournament is insane, like to the point where it's like a thing now. So, we can make our predictions and then we'll just have to after the first round, we'll just have to tear it up and throw it away anyway. So who knows? But yeah, I'm excited. Listen, I like NBA more than college basketball, but I love March Madness. It truly is an amazing time to be a sports fan. And last season, I lost a lot of money during March Madness, so maybe this year
you did. I actually won pretty good on March Madness.
Well, I had a lot on Gonzaga. That was, I was up, and then I felt confident in the Zags, and they let me down.
I had a couple of bets there, but I had most of my money towards Baylor.
Yeah.
So,
but all right, we're gonna move into games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
All right, we do not have an official score update, but I'm assuming that I went undefeated and Brandon went 0-4.
I've dominated.
Yeah,
I've dominated. I'm sure of it.
I think we both went undefeated, but we don't know that, so we'll see what happens. But I'll tweet something out. So why don't you start us off with your first game on Thursday?
Yeah, should definitely do that. First game on Thursday, I had the Blackhawks Bruins. Obviously it's a far away time for the folks listening, but for me, I just went to Chicago. So, but I am gonna go with the Bruins for the W there. So,
on Thursday, I've got the Sharks versus the Kings. I think the Kings win. I talked about in the fantasy show. I think the Kings sweep both the home and homes. So I've got the Kings beating the Sharks on Thursday at 9:30.
Okay, not bad. I believe the next one is you.
On Friday at 6 p.m., Golden Knights versus the Penguins. This one, I'm torn. I'm taking Pittsburgh on this one. Not super confident in it, but
I like the pick. I think they're going with either of those teams going with the home team, probably your best call. Yeah. It's Friday night. We're actually going to the opposite coast here. Capitals Canucks. This is Friday the 11th at 9 p.m. Canucks have been playing better. Capitals have not been playing better. They're going to turn it around. I'm going to go with the Caps.
Okay. On Saturday at 6 p.m., Calgary versus Detroit. There was honestly not a lot of great games that day. So, and I think you already had Rangers and Stars. So, Calgary, right? Calgary is the obvious pick in this, and let's just hope that something crazy doesn't happen. Detroit has shown they can put up 7 goals against the team. So let's hope that if they do, Calgary can but more than 7 up, because that's usually how it works in sports.
Right. Rangers playing the Stars. This is Saturday the 12th. Obviously, as you said, probably the best game of the day. I am going to go with the Rangers with that game. And because it was a weird Monday, neither of us took a Monday. I took a second Saturday game. Kings playing the Sharks. So I am a little excited about that game. And I think it's obvious that I am going to go with the Kings as well.
Yeah. So on that Sunday, I've got the Jets versus the Blues. Oh, you know what? Nope. My brain is overruled. I'm going Jets.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Jets there. You hate the Blues, so that's
I hate the Blues
for you. My final game of the week is the Preds playing the Wild. Preds, been playing some okay hockey since they were not playing. We're not playing good hockey. But I'm gonna go with the Wild. I think
it's a smart pick.
They're just a better team right now, and the Preds could absolutely win. But go with the odds there.
Yeah. Sunday, rounding out the week, I've got the Panthers versus the Kings. I like the Panthers. I think I like both teams a lot, but I think the Panthers are just the better team.
Yeah, I'm going Kings in that one, honestly. Panthers have been a little slow as of late. So,
all right, that's our games of the week. It's a quick episode today. We don't have a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump on over to Joke of the Week.
The weird.
Corey Perry. See, I don't like this.
Wild.
I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it.
Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
Kidding me.
It's time for the Joke of the Week.
The first paragraph of this is an insane group of words to put together. Oklahoma City, a U.S. House candidate in Oklahoma, has apologized after reports that she became intoxicated at a Valentine's Day weekend sleepover for middle school-aged girls, berated several of the children, and vomited in a hamper.
Now, Bobby, I do really quick. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I always thought that this section was us making fun of things for people, making fun of people for things we wouldn't do ourselves.
See, what makes it special is that
there's got to be more.
Is that she's running for office? It's not like she already has the office.
No, this is America, baby. That sounds right up my alley.
Well,
I'm with her.
So here is the part that I find the best is that she mixed Ambien and alcohol and then called them unforeseen effects. No, what happened is the known side effects of mixing those two.
No, okay. Again, you're taking the very, very narrow view. They were absolutely unforeseen events. She was most certainly going to pass out and not remember any of this. That was not seen.
She said
that was not seen.
She blacked out and woke up with her head in a hamper.
So did she see it? So did she see it, Bob?
No.
Unforeseen. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Everyone else saw it.
Boom. Everybody else saw it coming.
Unforeseen for her.
We absolutely saw it coming. It was no question.
I love who could have seen this coming? I only mixed Ambien and alcohol. Like there's not a history of this happening with other, it's become a thing.
She was like what's her face?
Rosie O'Donnell?
Amy Poehler in Mean Girls. Pina coladas.
Instead of helping me sleep, I hallucinated, Broyles told the station in a televised interview, and I don't remember anything until I woke up or came to, and I was throwing up in a hamper. She said she was invited to the slumber party by a good friend from law school who was the mother of one of the girls. She being told by witnesses that she used profanity and berated several of the 12 and 13-year-old girls at the party, commenting on one girl's acne and another's Hispanic ethnicity. Maybe when you're out, and maybe you just wait until you're maybe you should just let your daughter go on the sleepover and you just stay.
You just don't. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big Ambien and alcohol kind of person,
she didn't have a daughter there. She just went.
She just this is not even her house. She was invited to the slumber party.
Yeah.
It was one of those political things. Like, oh my gosh, what is her name?
Boyles.
Miss Broyles, come to our sleepover, and she's like, hell yeah, that sounds dope. Hey, what is your Ambien and alcohol situation at your house? You're not sure. I'll bring my own.
I love that she's sticking with I'm sorry for the things I'm accused of saying and doing. Like, how would you know what you did and didn't do? Again, you were blackout.
I mean, unless they have a video of it, deny. I'll be like, these are obviously idiot kids. They've invited a grown adult to their slumber party.
Absolutely insane. But all right, it is getting harder sometimes to find some of these because a lot of news nowadays is pretty depressing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. This is perfect.
Yeah.
You love a good yak in a hamper.
Yeah. So we're chugging along here. We're gonna go straight into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
By the time this airs, I'm probably on the road. I'll probably be back. But if you're listening to this a couple of days ago, I was on a cross country road trip from Nevada all the way back to Tennessee, and I am not excited. I despise driving. And then as soon as I get back, got to drive to Atlanta. Then about a week after that, I got to drive to Florida. And
You're not flying to Atlanta?
No. I do think that what the guys are doing is we were talking about how we're going to get there. I think they're going to get this thing called a road stallion, where someone like a guy comes to pick you up in like a Mercedes, like
It's like an Uber.
kind of, but it's like a party bus for like up to like 15 guys, and it's like, all right. And again, it's like I'm not playing it, and it's only like
God, this is a young kids.
I'm definitely the oldest one there.
Yeah, I mean, this is sounding. Good luck to you.
Yeah. But I hate driving, and I'm not looking forward to this cross-country road trip at all, driving through the desert and just as bad as going up and down mountains is, I think when I'm about halfway through the desert and through Texas, I'm going to be wishing for something other than just flatlands.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would consider
mountains
yourself
are bad
lucky.
too.
Oh, they're awful to drive in.
Yeah.
And then any kind of weather is like the worst.
Because at least with flatlands, you can like zone out, and if you zone out for 30 minutes, you're like, okay, well, I'm not dead. So
yeah,
where if you zone out for 30 minutes on the mountains, you're dead.
I'm not. I don't feel bad for you after my version of the cross country. So
yeah.
Obviously, again, as I said, I just got back from Chicago. I mean, it's been a couple weeks actually, but just our lack of public infrastructure, transportation and stuff. It just, I mean, yeah. we Ubered maybe a couple times. There's like 5 of us, so we could split it pretty good. But I mean, the Uber in from the airport, we didn't have to have an Uber in for the airport. We rode the train in from the airport.
Now,
and so,
for you listeners out there, just a quick, just in case you didn't know this, having public transportation in your city doesn't mean that your city's communist. I understand that some people want to try and tell you that public transportation is communist. It's not. It helps everyone.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, even if you refuse to use it, but other people will, that's still a little less traffic for you. I mean, obviously, Chicago's a big city, and it's laid out a little differently than ours. But I mean, I'm just so jealous of the ability to just basically walk everywhere for the most part. You can have a car, but not need it.
Sure.
If against having one. So that would be it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Super quick episode today. Hope you guys are having a good week. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram for updates and all the great promos from Action 24/7. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.